All right, so you're thinking about life insurance, huh? It's one of those things you know you should deal with, but it's not always the most exciting topic.
Yeah, not exactly a dinner party conversation starter. But it's important, that's for sure.
Totally agree. And today we're going deep, deep into the world of life insurance. Specifically, we're going to be looking at the differences between burial insurance and fully underwritten policies.
Sounds good.
We'll be taking some interesting bits and pieces from an article called Pasted Text, and we'll try to figure out together which option might make the most sense for you.
Excellent. Well, let's get started then.
Okay, let's kick things off with burial insurance. As the name suggests, it's there to help with those final expenses, but what does that actually cover in real life?
Well, think of those immediate costs that come up when someone passes away.
Ah, I see.
Like funeral costs, of course, and then maybe some medical bills that are still outstanding, you know.
Right, right.
And perhaps even some smaller debts that need to be settled. Basically, it's a safety net to make sure those costs don't become a burden for the family.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's all about peace of mind in a difficult time. Now, Pasted Text mentions that burial insurance doesn't need a medical exam.
Right.
How does that work? Don't insurance companies need to get some kind of health information to assess the risk?
Oh, they definitely do, but the process is a lot simpler. You'll
Okay.
answer a few basic health questions, and usually that's enough for them to make a decision. And you know what? This is one of the things that makes burial insurance so appealing, especially for, say, senior citizens or people who might have health conditions that make getting other types of insurance tougher.
I could see that. It takes a lot of the stress and uncertainty out of the process.
Exactly.
But, and here's the thing, Pasted Text also mentions that the premiums for burial insurance can be higher compared to those fully underwritten policies. And that's kind of counterintuitive, right?
Yeah.
Because the coverage amounts are lower with burial insurance.
Yeah, it seems that way on the surface, but think of it this way. With burial insurance, the insurer is taking on more risk because they don't have a complete picture of your health.
They're kind of going in blind in a way.
Sort of. So those higher premiums, they reflect that increased risk. It's a trade-off, you see?
Yeah, yeah.
They're basically trading a detailed health assessment for the convenience of guaranteed acceptance. You pay a bit more for that certainty.
Okay, so it's all about weighing your priorities. You get that ease and simplicity, but you might pay a bit more for it. Makes sense. All right, now let's shift gears and talk about fully underwritten life insurance.
All right.
This is where things get a bit more, complex, right?
Yeah, fully underwritten policies are definitely more comprehensive. You can kind of picture it like building a financial fortress. You're protecting your family not just from those immediate expenses after you're gone, but also from long-term financial challenges.
Ah, so it's thinking bigger picture.
Exactly.
It's more than just covering the funeral costs.
Exactly. You're thinking about replacing your income so your family can keep their lifestyle, maybe paying off the mortgage, even funding your kids' education.
Wow, that's a whole different level of security. But Pasted Text talks about this, rigorous underwriting process.
Right.
What are they actually looking at when they assessed you for these policies?
Yeah, it's pretty in-depth. Usually you'll have a medical exam where a nurse will check your height and weight, blood pressure, and take some blood and urine samples.
Okay.
Then they'll dive into your medical history, check out your family's health background, even look at lifestyle habits like smoking or drinking. And sometimes they might even ask for extra tests depending on your situation.
So it's pretty thorough.
Oh yeah, it's really about getting a complete picture of your health and your risk factors.
Yeah. I guess all of this info helps them figure out your premiums, right? Like someone who's younger and healthier would probably pay less than someone who's older and maybe not in the best shape.
Exactly. The whole point is to accurately assess the risk. Statistically, a younger, healthier person is less likely to pass away prematurely, so their premiums are going to be lower. Kind of like car insurance. Younger drivers with clean records usually get better rates.
Right, right. Lower risk, lower cost. Makes sense. So it seems like with fully underwritten insurance, you're putting in more effort up front with all those tests and assessments, but it could mean lower costs over the long haul.
Precisely.
Okay, so now I'm getting to the point where my head is spinning a little bit. How on earth do you know which type of insurance is the right fit for you?
Well, it all boils down to your individual needs and your circumstances.
Right.
If your main worry is just covering those final expenses and you really want a quick and easy approval process, then burial insurance might be the best way to go.
Okay, okay.
But if you're looking for that broader financial protection for your family's future, then fully underwritten insurance is going to offer that peace of mind.
That makes sense. So it's about priorities, right?
And
Pasted text also mentions age and health as really important factors. Can you give us some concrete examples of how those might influence the decision?
Sure. Let's say you're in your 30s, you're healthy, and you have a young family.
Okay.
A fully underwritten policy could be a really good fit because you can lock in those lower premiums for a longer time, and that gives your family significant financial security if, something were to happen to you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
On the flip side, if you're in your 70s or 80s and your primary goal is just making sure those final expenses are covered without any medical hoops to jump through, then burial insurance could be the better option.
Ah, okay. So it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. You got to think about where you are in life and what your goals are. Now, speaking of getting help, pasted text mentions diversified insurance brokers.
Yeah, those guys are great.
I'm guessing talking to a professional is a good idea.
Oh, absolutely. They can walk you through all the different options, help you compare policies, explain all the fine print. A good insurance broker can really tailor the advice to your specific situation.
It's like having an expert in your corner.
Exactly.
So to sum things up, burial insurance, safety net for those final expenses, simple, straightforward, fully underwritten insurance, more like a financial fortress, comprehensive, but a bit more involved.
Perfect summary. Both have their advantages, and the best choice for you depends on your specific needs and goals.
And here's something for you to think about as you continue your life insurance journey. Beyond just the financial aspects, what do these different approaches to life insurance say about how we view planning for the future and protecting the people we care about?
That's an interesting question.
It's something worth pondering. Keep diving